Today we're going after lie number one, the lie that neutralizes more Christian entrepreneurs than bad strategy, bad offers, or bad marketing combined. It's the lie that sounds spiritual, feels humble, and gets applauded in church culture, but destroys assignment, destroys impact, and destroys stewardship. And here it is. Money and prosperity are unspiritual or greedy. And I'm telling you up front, Scripture does not teach that. People do. Religion does, fear does, but the Word gives us a blueprint for stewarding wealth with conviction, with clarity, and a clean conscience. So let's break it open. If you get this wrong, everything collapses. And if you get it right, everything stabilizes. Psalm 24 verse 1 says, "The earth is the Lord's and everything in it." That means money is not secular, provision is not secular, ownership belongs to God, and stewardship to us. And Matthew 25 confirms it. Jesus gives a parable with money, literal money, to teach us how the kingdom works. He gives one person 5 talents, another person 2, and another 1. The ones who multiplied it were celebrated. But the one who hid it, the one who played it safe, the one who was humble and cautious, he was rebuked. So if Jesus uses capital growth to explain obedience, and modern Christians call capital growth greed, somebody's wrong, and it's not Jesus. 1 Timothy 6 verse 10 does not say money is evil. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. Huge difference. Money doesn't corrupt. Money reveals alignment. When I was still very young, my dad taught me that money is just an amplifier. It amplifies what is already in your heart. If you were generous before a lot of money, you will be more generous with it. If you were a gambler before a lot of money, you will gamble a lot more with a lot of money. If you loved watching movies before having a lot of money, you will watch even more movies when you have a lot of money. If your heart is aligned with God, money becomes a weapon for impact, for kingdom assignments, a platform for generosity, and a tool for changing systems. But if your heart is misaligned, poverty won't fix that either. Poverty has never purified anyone. Scripture uses refining fire, not financial lack. This is why Deuteronomy 8 verse 18 matters so much. It is He who gives you the power to get wealth. Not to get by, not to survive, but to get wealth. Which means rejecting wealth is rejecting a gift God gives on purpose. Look closely at Scripture, not opinions, not cultural Christianity. What about Abram? Genesis 13 verse 2 says he was very rich in livestock, silver and gold. And Job, twice as rich after restoration. And David, so resourced that he provided the entire financial base for the temple. Solomon, Scripture literally highlights wealth as evidence of wisdom. And the early church, Acts 4 describes such abundance that there was not a needy person among them. Provision isn't the enemy. Possessiveness is. Greed is. Pride is. Idolatry is. But the money itself, Scripture calls it seed, resource, blessing, inheritance, and increase. The Bible warns about riches, yes, but every warning has the same theme. Don't trust in them. Not don't have them, don't grow them, don't multiply them, or don't steward them. Jesus warns against serving money, not managing it, not multiplying it, not using it for kingdom purpose. Matthew 6:24 says you can't serve 2 masters, which means money is a terrible God, but a powerful servant. Your business isn't meant to worship money, it's meant to command money. Let's read the parable of the talents the way Jesus actually intended. The master, representing God, praises, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Why? Because they multiplied what God gave them. He rebukes the one who hid the talent. Why? Not because he sinned morally, not because he committed some scandal, but because he refused to increase what God entrusted him with. That means playing small is disobedience. Staying safe with money is disobedience. Rejecting increase is disobedience. Burying your assignment is disobedience. Kingdom leaders multiply, kingdom leaders build, kingdom leaders grow what heaven puts in their hands. Let's finish strong. You cannot build what God called you to build with a scarcity mindset. You cannot finance kingdom initiatives with survival thinking. You cannot transform cities while apologizing for increase. Proverbs 13 verse 22 says, "The wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous." Stored up for whom? The righteous. Not the timid, not the fearful, not the self-sabotaging, not the guilt-ridden. Your calling requires capital. Your assignment requires resources. Your vision requires margin. Your impact requires increase. This is why Scripture gives you permission to prosper, not for ego, but for obedience. Let me talk straight to you. You are not called to scrape by. You are not called to hide your capacity. You are not called to downplay your vision. You are not called to apologize for increase. You are called to steward, to multiply, and to advance the kingdom through what God put in your hands. If you're ready to break the guilt and build with conviction, stay tuned for line number 2. It's going to dismantle the hustle culture myth once and for all. Quick heads up, I put every scripture and every breakthrough from this entire 3-video series, and I put it into one clean PDF. If you want it, just type the word freedom in the comments and I'll send it to you after the 3rd video drops.